When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that gets by with a little help on both ends.
Oh.
Let's all take a moment and think about that.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today we're going to talk about things Kyle likes.
Which is, thank you, Steve Douglas, for requesting this as the counter episode to things Kyle hates, which you and Donna recorded while I was on my month-long round walkabout.
Yep.
And it's very ironic because one of the things Kyle dislikes is talking exclusively about Kyle.
Right, yeah.
Very weird. So part of me will hate this the whole time.
Great. Excellent. I mean, part of you hates everything all the time. So
this is true.
But first, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy American Thanksgiving, if that's what you celebrate.
Happy real Thanksgiving, everybody. And also, I think before our next episode, happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah starts soon. I might be making that up. I don't know. Dan's in charge of shit like that. Yeah, feedback, corrections.
No.
We have feedback we're not going to talk about.
Also, I'm not in charge of Hanukkah, just to be very clear.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but Hanukkah begins on November 28th this year.
Oh, on Sunday.
We don't have a Hanukkah liaison or anything. Is that what you're not our Hanukkah chauffeur or anything? Okay.
If you want to be Gayish's brand representative to Hanukkah, send your application to P.O. Box 19882, Seattle, Washington 98109.
And we'll burn it for as long as you want.
8 crazy nights. Oh, man. Okay, great. Then time for the news.
Shut your mouth hole, it's time for your ear holes. News.
News the first. Mark Robinson, who is the lieutenant governor of North Carolina, so he's the second in command of the executive branch of North Carolina, spoke at a church sermon in Winston-Salem last Sunday, and it's all on video. But he called LGBT plus people filth. He questioned the, quote, purpose of being gay and said he doesn't want to explain to his grandchildren what homosexuality is, something he compared to maggots and flies.
Maggots is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Robinson claimed that a gay man once asked him, so you think your wife and you think your heterosexual relationship is superior to my husband and my homosexual relationship? He responded with a hearty yes. These people are superior because they can do something these people can't do. Because that's the way God created it to be. And I'm tired of this society trying to tell me it's not so. Okay, so.
What is the purpose of gay, Mike? I wish I knew that answer.
I mean, keep practicing until you find out, I think, is the purpose.
Practice makes anal.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things about this, right, that I think are disturbing. First, this idea that procreation somehow makes you special, straight people. Fuck you, it doesn't.
And there's plenty of straight people that can't procreate, and that, like, again, there's so often when shitting on LGBT people shits on other straight people, and like this, yeah, it's like if you can't make a child, that doesn't make you worse, and this person is saying it does.
Yep, absolutely. Second, he's the second in command of the fucking government. Like, this is so scary to me. Carolinas, get your shit together.
I mean, just north so far. I don't know how south is doing.
Let us know, South Carolinians.
Right. You want to be the brand ambassador to South Carolina.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And of course, you said it happened at a church, right?
Yep.
Which that's surprising in no way whatsoever.
Yep. He said, quote, in America, you have the right to be a homosexual, and as an elected official, I have a duty to protect your constitutional rights, and I will. But we in church right now, and we are talking about church stuff, we are talking about God stuff.
And the fact that, like, talking about church stuff innately means talking about homophobia,
right,
or actively being homophobia is very very direct. Like very, yeah, like those things go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yep. And I will also say, I guess, like trying to give the other side some play here. There was a protest, and Vance Haywood, who is a senior pastor at St. John's, said he's, quote, heartbroken that Robinson has once again taken to the pulpit to spread a message of hate. This man's theology and religious practices are not only flawed and a perversion of the Christian tenets, but he places countless people at risk of violent attacks and even murder every time he opens his mouth. Yeah. So there's a Jesus-y guy saying, the right things.
Good Jesus-y stuff. Yeah. Mike, what do you call my ass? This is a weird setup for a joke. I don't think I want you to guess. A pulpit.
Oh God. Oh, awesome. Wow. Okay. We're gonna move on.
Okay.
News the second. So I didn't see the movie, but I definitely remember it. Eddie Redmayne played Lily Elbe in the 2015 film The Danish Girl, and so he got nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for that. But I mean, she was a trans woman, and Eddie Redmayne is a cisgendered man, and has gotten flack for that. Well, so just this week, he said that playing that character was, quote, a mistake. So
a lot of these actors wait till after they get all the ratings and the money and the nominations to be like, oh, sorry. What's his fuck? Jeffrey Tambor was like on the acceptance stage of his Emmy or whatever, and was like, I hope I'm the last person playing a trans woman. It's like, you have that power. Like, you could stop this now.
Yeah.
You could, you're in control right now.
Yeah. Well, so he previously has defended his role in The Danish Girl, suggesting that trans or cis actors should be free to play any character as long as they did it with, quote, a sense of integrity and responsibility. Jen Richards, who's a trans writer on the Netflix documentary Disclosure, said, nah. Quote, having cis men play trans women in my mind is a direct link to the violence against trans women, and in my part of the reason that men end up killing out of fear that other men will think that they're gay for having been with a trans woman, with trans women, is that the men whose judgment they fear of, only know trans women from media, and the people playing trans women are the men that they know. This doesn't happen when a trans woman plays a trans woman. Eddie Redmayne is also he's been cast in a queer coded role in Cabaret. West End is doing a revival of Cabaret, and he's playing MC. I don't know that show, but apparently that's a queer coded character that often appears in drag, and usually is played by queer talent. But Eddie Redmayne, who is a straight cis dude, is been cast as this character, and that's why this conversation is bubbling up again, is like a here we go again. So to distract from this casting, he's apologizing for casting from 6 years ago, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we'll just wait 6 years and he'll apologize for this. That'll be great. I also want to make clear that I think my ideal world is anyone could play anyone, and it's fine because there's no hate or the implications of this don't negatively affect this large group of people. It would be cool if we lived in a world where every actor has all the equal opportunities to play every role, but it's just we don't live there. I don't know if we ever will. So
yeah, and there's a different. I'm not proud of this, but there's definitely a problem of if you cast a trans woman in that role, the way that we live in our society today, that movie wouldn't do as well and wouldn't be seen by as many people. Yeah. So if a cis person plays this role and you end up getting 1 billion people watch the movie because they're super duper famous, at least there's some visibility, some representation, right? That audience then gets confronted with. They have to think about it and have their feelings and work through them. That if it wasn't this mega famous person, they probably wouldn't see the movie at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully we turn the corner and eventually we have enough big name trans people that they can bill a movie themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I mean, you have to start with someone at some level being like making those decisions that cost you money because it's the right thing to do to like if that's the mentality that everyone has, we stay in this cycle where it's, you know, just cis white dudes playing every role and keep making money, and it like, you know, you have to break out of that. And
Yep. Damn it. Anyway,
Janet.
Eddie Redmayne has apologized, everybody. You can go back to eating your Cheerios or whatever. News the last?
Yeah.
This is an update to an ongoing story.
Ooh.
But Baronelle Stoltzman, you remember her?
Nope.
She's one of the people that I say it's okay to call a cunt. She
That doesn't narrow it down too much, but
she is the owner of Arlene's Flowers here in Washington State that refused to sell flowers to a gay couple who was getting married. That went all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. But she announced last week that they are settling out of court. I mean, they're still in court, but she's going to pay them $5,000 to make up for this whole thing that's been going on for fucking 8 years, I guess. Yeah. So she said she's decided to retire, and that's her career dying.
that's the sound of her backing up and paying them money.
Yeah. She's paying $5,000 to Robert Ingersoll 8 years after she refused to provide flowers for his wedding. She has decided to retire and wished Ingersoll and his husband, Kurt Fried, who had been customers at Arlene's Flowers for almost a decade, quote, the very best. Ingersoll and Fried plan to donate the settlement to a local chapter of PFLAG.
Oh, cool.
And personally match the $5,000. And
that's interesting that she, like, that's so weird to change course after all that time.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So she said, quote, I'm passing my legal torch on to others that are going through similar cases to hers. She cited Lori Smith of 303 Creative in Colorado, a graphic designer who creates custom wedding websites, who tried to challenge the state's anti-discrimination law because she didn't want to work with same-sex couples. Let's see. There are basically, I want to retire, and my business is done being the standard bearer for this issue because I'm tired. And there are other businesses that are fighting similar battles in other states that they got this, is her horse shit.
I mean, yeah, like exhaust them until they give up. That's a strategy. I like that. Because like we're fighting for very different things. Like, you know, they're like, oh, I want to like not sell to these people and do like, but that like the level that it affects their life is so small versus us is like, we want to be treated equally the same as everyone. Like we've got the stamina to try to make that stick. Like that's a very different motivations, and the ability to just say, I stopped caring about this and quit is like, she has that fortune to be able to do that. We can't just be like, I wish sometimes I'm like, being gay is so tiring. Maybe I'll just stop for a little bit. Like, maybe I'll pass the torch on to my other gay friends.
Yeah. I'd take that torch for a while.
You could take the double the gay.
Yeah. Double the gay.
Double the gay, double the pleasure, double the fun.
Double gay. That's the news.
That's the news. Speaking of double gays, I would like to thank all the following double gays because they're better than one. Thank you to the following Patreon members: Red Sparrow.
It sounds like a red herring, really.
Red Sparrow.
or a comic book hero.
Oh, cute. Logan.
Great. Hi, Logan.
Josh Tracy, which is hard to fuck up, so I don't think I did. Francisco Chavez, and Greg.
Oh.
Got some one-namers in there, which I'm like, got it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Did it. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon. If you want bonus episodes content, get shit a day early, go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Yes. Do it. we're going to talk about you now,
I guess
Kyle.
so. That's weird. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
So when you said this at the top of the episode, but I'll recapitulate. You said at the top of the episode, you took a little break. While you were on break, we figured, well, like, now's the time to talk about all the shit that Kyle doesn't like.
Yeah.
So I had Donna Sugars on as a co-host, and we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. We covered pickles, beer, Star Trek, WoW, and I'm just wondering if I assume you listened to the episode?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Was that a statement, or are you asking me?
I'll ask you.
I did not listen to all the episodes that I wasn't on because it was...
I can see that being stressful, maybe.
It was very weird and different because I always listen to every episode because I have to edit it. So to have episodes show up in my feed that I didn't do, like in the past, it's been because like, hey, I'm going to talk about self-harm and I really don't want to listen to this again. So it was like, it's been intentional or like specifically like designed that way.
Parting the kimono, out of 250 something episodes, I've edited about 20 of them. Like it's been like at the 10% ish, but dwindling for a long time because you've been more. The longer we've done this, the more and more consistently you do the editing. But yeah, that's.
Yeah. So like there's a weird control thing that like I didn't have any control at all over those episodes, which is weird.
Okay, I'm going to do 3 segments, Kyle. I'm going to talk about you liking control then.
Oh God.
No, I'm kidding.
You mean my therapist. Let's all get in on it. And it was also like listening to those episodes as a reminder that I was doing shitty and not on it. So I listened to some, but not all of the episodes. Like
I was wondering if do you have any rebuttals? Like if anything about those 4 subjects, what should we have covered?
Well, no, if you think pickles are good, then you're stupid and I hate you. And there's no justification for pickles. They don't deserve to be alive. And the fact that you talked about them is gross.
Great. Great.
And I think less of you for it.
Oh. Well, okay. All right.
Hi, Donna Sugars. You're cool too. I like you. Love you.
Yeah. I mean, you've earned this, Kyle. You get wide berth today. And
I don't know.
Yeah, the door's open. Walk right through that bitch. Okay. How about the other things? You don't hate Star Trek sci-fi.
No. It's just I haven't. What I don't like is if you like go on long like things about it and then I have like nothing to contribute. Like, do you remember that episode where the Floribians floped over the good doorbells? And I'm like, no, that was a great. I hear is very insightful and really reflects the racial tensions of modern America, or whatever. I just have nothing to talk about, and like Star Trek is enough to where if you start. Like you could say something that might be a regular thing or it might be Star Trek, and it's like sometimes hard to tell if we're in Star Trek territory.
I do sneak attack you with Star Trek from time to time.
Is that one of the things See, I don't know. Was that a reference to a Star Trek ship move? Can it sneak attack? Oh, that's a rogue feature in D&D. That I like.
The Picard maneuver was kind of a sneak attack.
Yeah?
Like, you'd go into warp for just like a split second, and it would look like you were in 2 places at the same time. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. That's the Picard maneuver. Okay, well, yeah, we did that episode. I'm just wondering if, like, is there anything that just like you hate, but you don't necessarily tell me as often that like should have registered and been higher on the list of things that I prioritized for that episode?
No. I
fucking Dan can't hear you. I'm turning off his headphones.
Because, I was like, that's rude. He has ear issues. He might not be able to. I actually think it's the other way. I don't know if this is just me, like, being on the podcast. Like, sometimes you start to say things, and now all of a sudden, like, here's all this shit that you say you hate and that you love, and it, like, becomes stronger and stronger that people just assume that that's, like, you only drink rosé. That must be the thing. And it's like, I started saying I liked it and drank it a lot, and now it's a thing. Like there's a lot. So I actually think some stuff that I hate, I don't actually hate as much as either sometimes I'm joking and just make it into that, or other people just are like, oh, that's all you like, or whatever.
I'm far more indifferent to Taylor Swift than than even my family believes because of the podcast. Like, my brother last night was like, "Oh, you hate her." I was like, "Well, I don't really think about her that much." So,
did you hear the Taylor Swift version of the album Red? Mm-mm. See, this is how I feel when you get into some Star Trek shit. It's like, what did you just say? No, everyone was all into the 10-minute version of something, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was like at trivia last week. Dan and I we went to play trivia at Chris Hagee's trivia night thing, and
we won trivia.
You
That's
won
what we
trivia?
did.
Yeah,
We got firstest place.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Things I don't like trivia at all.
Oh, really?
It just reminds me how stupid I am because I don't remember anything.
I get that.
It's like, who was this painting by? I don't know. Like, I memorize shit for tests, and that's the only, like, I don't remember things. So, like, you know.
But I guarantee, if you could get over that, and I'm not saying you have to, but if you could get over that, I guarantee that you would be a very valuable addition, because like the Venn diagram of things that I know and care about and that you know and care about is barely enough for a podcast, right?
Well,
like
we did trivia a long, long time ago, and we won that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's having you on your team. It's like, what? Like, you just remember shit and know good facts and stuff.
My brain is like a slot machine. I legit, like, the question will happen, and then a little voice in my head will say an answer, and I just repeat it.
Oh,
and
have you talked to your psychiatrist about this voice?
It's a thing. It's a thing. And then I'm often like, I have no idea how I know that. Or sometimes it's a Saturday Night Live sketch, and it had some basis.
Two ways
truth.
of knowledge.
Anyway, so no, back to you. Why are we're talking about you?
No, I don't know. I the other thing that happens, I was gonna say this is like, I may say, "Oh, you must hate Taylor Swift," and then people just like, they forget the distinction between us as people and just assume that is true for you. You know, like,
yeah,
I think that's another thing that happens. I don't know what else do I hate? No, I can't think of anything. Mustard is gross.
Okay. Great.
I love my dog. I like binge watching TV shows.
Yeah, let's do stuff you like.
Okay.
Do you want to go first with the thing you like? Or
no, because it's like very hard to just be like, what do you like? And it's like, I don't know, like a bunch of things.
Okay.
No, you do stuff.
All right, I'm gonna start with Nutella then. Kyle famously likes Nutella.
Yeah.
Likes it.
Likes it.
Yeah. A little bit about Nutella. I'm not going to do a full history of Nutella, but
damn it, Mike! The first time I wanted you to do the full history of something.
Okay.
No.
I guess like this is exactly example of how like my trivia brain works. I did not realize that Nutella was Italian. Part of me, I think, knew that and then like went with it, but Nutella was very first introduced by the Ferrero Company in 1964, as in Ferrero Rocher. And people have to know what Nutella is, right? Like, are there people that live under rocks that don't know what Nutella is? It's a chocolate hazelnut spread, and it's kind of interesting because it is mostly sugar and palm oil, and hazelnuts, cocoa powder, milk powder, whey powder, soy lecithin.
Don't they use like a third of the world's hazelnuts to Nutella?
So 25% of the world's hazelnuts go to the Ferrero Rocher Company.
Oh, I was very close.
A significant portion of which goes to make Nutella. They also do like they have hazelnuts in candies or like, you know, as the dusting on the top of of little nuggets of whatever. But yeah, the company does, and so I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I don't know that. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
I'm never sure what we're supposed to cancel these days, and I'm not going to cancel Nutella for you. But there's a couple of things that maybe you should know. The first is apparently everybody was all worried about palm oil maybe being bad for the environment, and there's some like massive, huge amount of Nutella is palm oil. And then turns out that at least environmentally, it's pretty okay. The problematic ingredient might be the hazelnuts. So they're using the European Union is giving a bunch of grant money to Italians who want to grow hazelnuts. So they're like, there's financial incentive to grow hazelnuts. But apparently Ferrero Rocher in particular is under a lot of scrutiny for the way that they treat their workers in the hazelnut fields, and especially in Turkey, because their need for hazelnuts is more than Italy can produce by kind of a long shot. So they do a lot of importing from Turkey, and apparently conditions are not so hot. The other thing that is interesting to me about Nutella, they in the United States, they were sued in a class action lawsuit for false advertising because they claimed that it was nutritional and had health benefits.
This is like, man, in the U.S., so much like junk food and its advertising is like, a bowl of cereal in the morning is healthy and it's Frosted Flakes or whatever. And you're like, what? They name like one really small ingredient, like this has calcium in it. And you're like, well, also, to claim that it is healthy is insane.
They specifically claimed that Nutella claimed in several advertisements that they were, quote, part of a nutritious breakfast, and that it's the not good part of the nutritious breakfast.
Looking back on the report I did for culinary school on Nutella, 68% of Nutella by weight is sugar and oil.
Then I think so is my body.
So this was back in 2012, and they agreed to settle that for up to $4 per jar for up to 5 jars per consumer, and ended up paying out $3 million in that as part of that settlement.
These like settlements are ridiculous. Like, it makes so much more financial sense to do something fucked up. This is to say, like, the entire point of Trump. It makes more sense to do something fucked up early, and like you just bake into the cost, like, oh, we may get sued and may have to pay millions of dollars, but by that time we're making even more than that. So right. That's just the cost of doing business is like, we lie and take the hit.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I've double parked before, because like paying an $85 ticket for parking illegally is way better than being pissed about not having a place to park, I guess. I don't know.
Missing the jazz concert or whatever.
Something else about Nutella that I thought was interesting is they had a campaign where you could buy jars that were customizable, so that it would say on the jar like somebody's name or like or whatever. But there were a bunch of banned words that they did not allow to go on the jar, and one of them was lesbian. They wouldn't let you put lesbian on.
But was gay on the list?
Gay is allowed.
What?
Lesbian and homo were not allowed. Christian was permitted, but Jewish and Muslim were not.
What?
And then there was a bunch of health-related words that they were banning on these customized jars: cancer, obesity, fatso, diabetes, and oil.
Wow. The oil one is interesting. It's like all of them are like,
it's already
chub
on there
chubs,
in the
like Biggins, and the product that this is made of.
Also variations of poop, cannabis, and other references to body functions and drugs were prohibited. But now we've arrived at my favorite part of the Nutella segment, which is I'm now starting the rumor that you started a band. Would you like to hear your first single?
Absolutely, I do.
Yo! I love Nutella, man! I really love it! I can eat this every single day! So this song is about Nutella. Yo! I love Nutella. I love Nutella, Nutella. I love Nutella. I love Nutella, Nutella. I love Nutella. I love Nutella, Nutella. Haters be hating because of my love for Nutella. They jealous? Wake up in the morning, you see the Nutella just chilling in the kitchen. What do I do? What do I do? Is this for real? Should I eat it? Should I bite it? Should I trust it? Do you think it'll be good for my stomach? I think so. No regrets here. I love you, Nutella.
Okay, the reason I'm offended by that
Okay.
is because if I wrote a song about Nutella, the lyrics would be I'm a way better writer than that. So that's why that's offensive.
You don't like I love Nutella. I love Nutella. Wake up in the morning, you see the Nutella just chilling in the kitchen. What do I do? What do I do? Is this for real?
That's a dumb thing to say.
Should I eat it? Should I bite it? Should I trust it? Do you think it will be good for my stomach? I think so. No regrets here. I love you, Nutella.
That's very dumb. All of that is very stupid and not a good song. I'm the next thing I want to make is a web series about Nutella, where a guy falls in love with his sentient Nutella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on our Gayish Media Empire backlog.
And it does include like me pretending to fuck a jar of Nutella, which is going to be interesting to.
I wonder if we could get the rights to this song for that.
They're bad and I don't like them, and they're not invited to be a part of this.
All right. There's another one by an artist named Mo.
There are multiple Nutella songs you had to pick from?
Yeah.
Wow.
This one is also pretty good.
I've got Nutella and Nutella's got me good. I've got Nutella and Nutella's got me good. I've got Nutella and Nutella's got me good. I've got Nutella and Nutella's got me good. Got Nutella. Got Nutella. Got Nutella. Good, good, good.
Very dancey.
I like that. I thought that was like
the drop
right
was
about
coming. The drop was coming.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of songs in Spanish that feature Nutella, and at least in one case, I'm pretty sure that they mean Nutella because like my Spanish is pretty terrible. But he was talking about tequila, salt, and lime, like a list of ingredients. I don't know how Nutella figures into whatever he was making, but
would Nutella and tequila taste good?
And then
Some questions have no answer. What is the sound of one hand clapping?
I totally ran out of time, but I was going to make you a Nutella martini.
Oh, God.
But I didn't.
I believe you mean a Nutella-tini.
Okay. Yeah, I do. A
Yeah,
Nutella-tini.
yeah. I thought so.
It's vanilla vodka, creme de cacao, Nutella around the rim, which just looks like you've smeared poop on it. And
Banned word. Can't say that, Mike.
anyway, that's Nutella, which I know you love.
Yeah, Nutella is when I feel bad, I eat very poorly. So buying Nutella is a sign of depression for me, which is like
I feel bad for giving you 200 cups of it for our 200th episode.
At least I had to do a little work to like open each package rather than just stick the spoon in. So
Great. Sure.
Kyle, I just realized I referenced you in my paper.
What?
In the
What did you
closing
say?
paragraph.
Do you want to tell me what you said about
I
me?
said
or-
I initially chose Nutella. Oh, so the paper had to be about like the sustainability of a product in your pantry, and you had to like I had to estimate how the like number of kilometers that each ingredient had, like basically how many miles or how many kilometers had this jar basically passed it. Anyway, lots and lots of details about it. My closing paragraph is, I initially chose Nutella because I had noticed it contained palm oil and knew it was an ingredient infamous for being unsustainable, and because a good friend is a rabid super fan of Nutella, owning branded clothing and currently writing a novella in which Nutella is a character. I thought I might find some scathing details to tease him about. I was surprised to see that among palm oil consumers, they seem to be doing better than most, though questions obviously remain whether it's enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know my love for Nutella permeated research papers.
Yeah, I got an A too.
Oh, you're welcome. Something I wrote for when I worked there ended up being referenced in someone's research on like how invasive like digital like advertising is.
Oh, wow.
Which is, so I'm writing this article for other search marketers to talk about like, here's the different behavioral targeting settings you have available to you. And someone's like, oh, look at the behavioral targeting settings they have available. Did you see that Facebook is no longer going to let people target advertisements based on your sexual orientation?
Why not?
They took away some because it's like Facebook is getting very shit on for how poorly it makes people feel. That's the big thing, especially teens, how bad, and Instagram, how bad it is for you and how invasive it is, how much they know about you, all that shit. So I assume it's something to do with that, but yeah.
No. I mean, if my super gay ass ads go away, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, that's what I think I tweeted that from our Gayish account. Like, but then who's going to tweet underwear ads with people that make me feel bad about my body?
What do you want to talk about, Colin?
I want to talk about one of your banned words, homo.
Poop? No.
Okay, this is the history of poop. The Romans started it when they were like, you know what? My tummy hurts. And I've been clenching all my life. And they opened up and they had a celebration for a weekend where they released all the poop. And from then on, people have been pooping.
Before ancient Rome, you would poop out your belly button.
Okay, no. The word homo. And specifically the phrase "no homo," because that's one of my favorite phrases. Hold on, I'm gonna check.
Do you have more no homo examples? Because we've done this before.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I do, and I will let you know after this commercial break.
Great.
Have you had Nutella? It's very good.
Nutella, made with 25% of the world's hazelnuts. You can really taste the slave labor. Part of a balanced nutritional breakfast.
Okay, I looked up on Reddit. These are the first results when you search for no homo.
Okay, great.
I was a little disappointed because a lot of them were joking about the phrase, not actually using, like, actively. The thing I like about no homo is when you actively use it and you're serious about it, it makes what you're saying sound gayer. Like, I didn't think you were thinking about sex with dudes until you said no homo.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah.
The fact that you felt the need to clarify might mean something that you should explore within yourself.
I love the way you're seasoning that meat, no homo, right? Like that's
yeah. Like, yeah, I didn't think you meant that you were going to rectally like fuck someone, you know, like until you said that. Okay, first one is the meme where the title was no homo, but it's the meme where the dude says, "I stepped in shit," and he looks at his foot, and on his foot it said, "People who say my girlfriend pegging me is gay."
Oh, wow.
What?
I don't think I understand it.
Oh, it's something like, that's gross. That's the shit thing, is those people that say that.
But it started by saying no homo?
The title of it is no homo.
Oh, God. Okay.
Which I think that's funny because his girlfriend is pegging him, and like saying no homo while someone pegs you is like a funny idea in my mind.
Okay.
The no homo bro cuddle is the title of this.
Oh, God.
One of my best friends is gay. He refers to this as a no homo bro cuddle. I went to his house and stayed the night, and we slept in the same bed. Completely non-sexual, but we did spoon. I was big spoon. Thank you for that detail. Very important. For comfort and just to cuddle.
So you know just how no homo it was. Like
I was.
Yeah, it was pole to hole. It was my pole. No homo.
Reason being, his dad had recently died and he had been sleeping poorly. Said he just needed someone to cuddle with for comfort so he could get a good night's sleep. It was pretty gay to spoon with a gay man in his bed overnight, but I don't regret it.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, dudes should be able to like. Cuddling feels good. They're these things that like feel good and are fun, but they get labeled as gay. Like cuddling is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah,
it's comfortable.
Yeah, being mammals together is fun.
It's the worst way ever to describe cuddling.
That's how I love a freezing ass cold room, but then having like somebody to cuddle with is great. And
will you be mammals with me under my covers?
Exactly. Also, okay, so if he knows that this guy's gay and he's signing up for this cuddle big spoon job, that says secure in my sexuality. No homo says insecure in my sexuality. So this person's fascinating. I want to know more about this person. Explain yourself.
I guess the gay dude referred to it as the no homo bro cuddle. One of my best friends is gay.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense. Another one, man kills his friend for not saying no homo after 10-hour anal session.
Wow.
That
I thought this was going to be a repeat of the story about the doctor that did the prostate exam.
I mean, almost. Like, it was just an image of the title of an article that is on Huzlers.com, HUZLERS.com. And I don't know if that's a like Onion style article or if this is a real thing. I thought maybe Dan could explore to see if that can't, I don't know. I would say that can't happen, but yes, the doctor story or like, you know, the dude that just killed his family for whatever, inviting gays into the house, like we're vampires or something.
Hustlers is a satirical and fictional entertainment blog.
Okay, great. But I really enjoy that. It had two actual people's pictures. I wonder whose picture gets pulled for that article. And lastly, a picture of someone's tweet that says, "No homo" is probably the most disappointing thing to hear sometimes. Like, no homo at all? Not even a little homo?
Crestfallen.
So that's no homo. My no homo Reddit search.
That's fantastic. No homo.
No homo. None of that is homo.
Except yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked earlier about the like. We've alluded to it enough that it's become a thing, maybe larger than it actually should be. But I'm going to talk to you about rosé.
Okay, no, yeah, let's do it. I do really like rosé, but it's not the. I go in rosé waves of rosés. That doesn't work, but portmanteaus. I should have done a segment on portmanteaus. Yes. I enjoy those, but
that's one thing we agree on.
Yes,
portmanteaus,
absolutely.
Like 80% of our friendship is portmanteaus.
Head, shoulders, knees, and portmanteaus.
Yeah, Natalie Portmanteaus. Rosé. So first of all, you're super into rosé. Like, what is it about it? Like, can you speak to like? Because you also drink red wine, you drink white wine, you drink champagne. Like,
I like champagne not very much unless it's in orange juice.
Okay.
What is it about rosé? It's just like why do you like happiness? And like what is the taste of joy? You know? It's like that's rosé.
That's a solid answer.
Thank you. I mean it's just like you know, why do you want someone to jizz in your mouth? It's just because I enjoy swallowing it, you know? Like it's just it just tastes good when it's inside me. It's wine, it's cool, it's refreshing. It's not as like when you want something that's like I always run warm, so cold things are like I am like enjoy that. And there's an aspect of it that's like pink, and like especially when I first came out I was like, hey, I can like this stuff, I'm gonna go tell everyone how much I like this gay thing because I get to because I'm gay. So there's something about it that's like gay affirming that I'm like a big dude buying a rosé bottle. So yeah, there's a lot I like it about it.
Well, so
makes for a good dildo when you're done.
Most wines do.
Try it at home, everybody.
Do not put glass bottles in your anus or your vagina.
We highly recommend you insert glass wine bottles into your anus, big side first, and then squeeze as hard as you can.
Oh my God! Wow.
Gayish approved. Tell your lawyer we sent you.
Good Lord. Wow. Okay.
What are we talking about?
Rosé.
Anal. Oh, rosé.
So, rosé is pink. It's not quite a white wine. It's definitely not a red wine. And it gets that color from grape skins, at least if it's made the traditional way, just not enough to qualify it as a red wine.
Do you support traditional grape wines?
Yes, absolutely. But it also is probably the oldest known type of wine.
No way!
Like what we know about how wine was made and how the winemaking process evolved, the very first wines, the very first grape wines were likely rosé-ish as opposed to red or white.
Huh.
And there's three different ways to make rosé. There's skin contact, the saignée, and blending. And sometimes they are sparkling. They come with different levels of sweetness. Rosés are like really diverse and versatile, which is interesting because in my head, I don't drink a lot of rosé. I do like when I'm out of shit and you have rosé on hand. But like, I just never realized that there might be this like complex world of rosé analysis and drinking and like stuff that happens. There's apparently like serious rosé stuff, but the Wikipedia article on rosé says that it became a viral drink in 2015. That's a problematic phrase. Rosé became a viral drink in 2015 when men who drank rosé started being referred to as brosé.
Yeah.
And then in summer of 2016, a slushy variation, frosé, was developed at the bar Primi in New York. So that got me on this kick of there's a bunch of other rosés, and I wanted to know if you like them too.
Oh, okay.
One of them I know you will. Rosé Thomas.
Is that a person?
That's a character from Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Super Saiyan Rosé.
What's this?
Dragon Ball Z.
My brother used to watch that.
It's a transformation used by Goku Black in Dragon Ball Super.
Sure.
There's a French singer named Rosé.
Nope.
No?
Wow.
Rosé is the stage name of a Scottish-American drag queen and singer based in Manhattan. He's best known for competing on the 13th season of RPDR.
That boy hot.
Yeah. Is it the accent?
It's the ginger, it's the freckles, it's the tattoos, it's the accent. He's on my wall in my playroom, even though he's not even naked in the picture.
Wow. Well, his
I know nothing about any of these.
out of drag, his name is Ross Matthew McCorkle, born in 1989.
McCorkle.
Better known
Of course
by
you
the
want to be a
stage
drag
name.
queen because you're like, what can I do to really spice this up? Because my last name's McCorkle.
RuPaul's Drag Race, I guess she placed second, third runner-up alongside Gottmik. Again, we don't follow drag queens that much, I guess. So
Second, third runner-up?
Second/third runner-up. I don't know what that means.
That makes
either.
you like fifth place, I think. Right? Like, because first runner-up is second place, so...
I'm just reading what the thing said, Kyle.
Well, do it different. Do it different than you're doing.
But the most important one... I'm very glad that you are who you are, and otherwise I would not. This wouldn't even have registered. But Rosé is also a singer, a Korean New Zealander singer and dancer based in South Korea, and she made her debut as a member of the girl group Blackpink in August of 2016. Which I wouldn't have known Blackpink if it hadn't been for you and your ridiculous music choices.
Yeah. Well, now Lady Gaga had Blackpink on Chromatica, so like they're at be on Lady Gaga's album Big, so they're huge. But yeah, there's a few Korean pop bands that I really enjoy, and they're one of them. And Girls' Generation, I haven't seen as much about them recently, but yeah.
So I haven't looked too deeply into Blackpink, but it's my understanding that they're like Menudo, right? That like they're a super group that like people join and leave all the time.
Oh, I don't know much about. No, I don't know.
Don't at me if I'm wrong about that, kids. But yeah, Blackpink has a singer named Rosé.
I didn't know that.
So even more reason to like them now.
Yeah.
That's a little bit about Rosé and the rosés in our lives.
Rosés of our lives. That when I change it up and do my next web series, instead of Nutella and it's rosé, it's going to be called the Rosés of our lives.
Great.
That's very good. Do I want to change it to rosé? No, I can't make a joke about having Nutella on my dick. Okay. I want to tell you about this. This segment is going to contain a lot of things I like, including studies.
Okay.
Social justice.
Okay.
Having people not be mad at me.
Okay.
And then finding a way to take the focus off of me for a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about trans men.
I mean, SJWs and keeping people happy, that's a rough line to walk.
I know we mentioned this when it happened. Got feedback on our episode about transgender, where we had Sarah come on and she was like,
Mistalk.
Answer any question about it that we didn't include or talk about trans men. I wish, up front, I would have said a little bit more about like, here's all the available spectrum, and we're picking, one person to interview. Anyway, I also just recently saw on Reddit, someone posted to the Ask LGBT subreddit, what's something you wish more people knew about your gender or identity or orientation or whatever? And one person wrote, according to one study, trans men face similar rates of hate violence as trans women. And we actually face way, way higher rates of sexual violence and domestic violence. But nobody ever talks about trans men when discussing violence against trans people. It's always especially trans women at the end of every sentence.
Yeah. Trans
men are left to suffer in silence alone. So I pulled up a article on The Advocate called Op-Ed, Trans Men Experience Far More Violence Than Most People Assume, by Lori Cook Daniels in 2015.
Okay.
And want to share a little bit about what Lori wrote.
Okay.
And the reason that, according to Lori, that we focus so much on violence against trans women and black trans women of color is because it is violence that results in death. And so, and that it is true that they experience higher rates of violence that results in death. But if you look at all forms of violence, not just what
the
results
dead kind,
the dead kind, then it shows some different kind of data and trends. And isn't that horrible that like to get to the top of people's minds, like we're like, okay, let's start with the ones that get murdered. Yeah. That's where we're like, that's the effort that we're focusing, not like,
yeah,
it's, like, and there's so much more going on that is not murder that trans people face. And that's like,
a little bit reminds me of the pandemic and all those fuckers who are like, I'm not getting vaccinated. It's not going to kill me. Okay, it might not kill you, but you might have long COVID and you're like fucked up for a really long time. That's also not good.
Yeah, like, it's not fun like being in the hospital for weeks like that. Yeah. So the data that was referenced in the article is from the Transgender Day of Remembrance list in the National Coalition of Anti-Violence Programs annual hate violence reports.
Okay.
And does indeed show that trans women of color are far more risk for being murdered than other trans or LGBT people. Trans masculine individuals are more likely to be victims of these, and there are a bunch of stats. These ones, they are slightly more likely to be victims of by like a percentage or a few percentage points. So not huge, but childhood sexual assault than trans feminine people.
Okay.
Childhood sexual assault, adult sexual assault, stalking, and hate violence.
Wow.
And they are the biggest thing, the biggest difference in this report was dating, violence from dating. It was 23% of female to male trans people versus 6% in male to female.
Interesting.
Which like that seems so low in dating. Like I would expect both groups to experience far more kind of issues. But yeah, so in dating, apparently, at least according to this study, you're far more likely to experience some kind of violence when you're a trans masculine person.
Wow. Okay. Be careful out there, kids.
Yeah, I was thinking about like I wonder if there's like a trans women are like more like say something up front or people think it's more visible or like I wonder. Yeah, I was trying to think about what may play into that, and I don't know.
My brain also goes to like cis straight dudes are the bad guys here. Like, like what can I imagine their behavior being? And how it anyway.
That's that's probably what it is. And something else that this article pointed out is just because violence doesn't result in death doesn't mean that death isn't possible. Experiencing violence can lead to higher likelihood for suicide or suicide attempt. Yeah. So there may be deaths as a result of violence that might not maybe not one-to-one directly contribute. So that's hopefully to shed a little bit more light on trans men and some of the risks and talk about them a little more.
Yeah. Good work deflecting away from you, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you. I thought so.
I'm proud of you. Mission accomplished. All right, one more thing you like.
Okay.
Domino's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Express to everybody just how much you love Domino's Pizza. An ode to Domino's.
Well,
by
okay,
Kyle
this
Getz.
this is also a weird love because just like Nutella, it can be a signal that things are not going good, and but they have an app that is really good for ordering. They do the Domino's pizza tracker, so you know what stage it's in, and they're like, Betsy,
you feel like you're winning as you watch it come across the screen.
Yeah, playing a game you know for sure you'll win. Betsy, put your order in the oven at 9:50, whatever. They, especially during the pandemic when I did not order much food at all, which was a big change from before. Like, I don't cook too much. And so during the pandemic, I cooked a lot more. But the only thing I would order when I did was Domino's, because they had a no contact thing that you could just put in there. Like other things like Grubhub or like other apps, the driver, like they just kind of like, you have that. Part of my love for Domino's is about social anxiety, because the call where they are like, I'm downstairs, and I'm like, I don't want to. The point is, I want food delivered to my door, and I want to buzz you in and you to come in and give it to me. And I like to, but I'm not willing. I have to have that conversation over the door phone. Like Domino's, I don't have to do that. They will always bring it to my door. And during the pandemic, they just put it down and left, and I don't talk to them. In terms of the food, their stuffed cheesy bread is the best, and I get that and dip it in the garlic sauce, which is like so good. But they just have a bunch of really good options, and I have like a little feast whenever I order it.
Great. I think there's better pizza, right?
Oh, better pizza, of course. How many of them are going to put it at my doorstep? Like, how many of them can I just go beep, boop, boop, and it shows at my door?
Yeah. I get that. That's true. I do think I'm not doing carbs, right? But when I'm not on keto, I have the Domino's app on my phone, and it's like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
And it's cheap.
Yeah.
And it's fast. And anyway, yeah.
Well, cheap is like, I guess maybe it's because of the number of things I order. Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah, but like getting better pizza, like I'm not gonna get delivered from them. Like, so I guess you could order and like have pickup. I don't know. It's just,
yeah. Well, so I don't have much else to say about Domino's except that Huffington Post had a list of anti-gay companies, and Domino's was on it. The other ones that are on here are like the usual suspects: Chick-fil-A, Urban Outfitters, Exxon, the Salvation Army, Purina, I didn't know that, Boy Scouts of America, and Cracker Barrel. However, they removed Domino's from the list with this note: an earlier version of this story included Domino's Pizza in the list of anti-gay companies. Though the company's founder held anti-gay beliefs, he sold the company in 1998.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah, and since then, Domino's has their LGBT record is actually pretty fine.
I thought they had 100 on HRC's Corporate Equality Index, but I don't remember. Maybe I just wanted them.
I thought Exxon did also. But there's a significant difference. The HRC Equality Index, there's the one list that is about like the internal facing policies about their employees. And I think that there are companies that do well on that actually don't do well when it's not their employees that we're talking about. Anyway, the guy's name is Ton Monaghan, and he was a Catholic, and that's probably where his anti-LGBT stuff came from. And he as
you heard it here first, everybody. Mike hates Catholics.
Yeah, well, I'm a recovering Catholic, so maybe that's why I hate myself. But yeah, he's still, despite he sold Domino's in 1998 and it did its thing, but he's still active in Republican Party politics, and he endorsed Donald Trump in 2020.
Sure.
To sum up, Domino's used to be fuckface asshole dickbags, but he sold the company and is now a fuckface dickbag asshole elsewhere. And
like a free agent.
I think it's been long enough that Domino's is, redeemed itself maybe.
Okay.
But I will look into more about that. But
Okay.
Their HRC rating as of 2021 is a 75 out of 100.
Wow. All right.
yeah. Anyway,
I'll buy them 75% of the time then.
great. Domino's Pizza, Kyle.
My last thing that
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. It's Kyle's favorite thing.
Oh God!
Play the Nutella jam.
You get a dildo. You get a dildo. Everybody gets a dildo.
All right, it's that time of year, everybody, when we do Kyle's favorite things for the very
God.
first time. I'm gonna tell you my list of Kyle's favorite things.
I'm afraid to look under my chair.
Oh, you should look under your chair. What's that? Disappointment? That's one of my favorite things. Disappointing my friends. Okay. Favorite pop artist
Brittany.
right now is Julia Michaels.
Okay.
This is one of those things where everyone
Do better.
You, sir. This is one of those things where like after a certain amount of time of talking about Britney, everyone just assumes she's my favorite. Julia Michaels is a legit artist. I've said this before. I get the difference between a Britney Spears and a artist who she's a singer-songwriter. She's incredible. So
Okay.
she's my favorite pop
I thought she was the lesbian trainer from the Biggest Loser.
Oh, that's something along those lines.
Jillian Michaels.
Okay.
Jillian. No, it's not her. I think maybe she
I
might.
would watch them bang based on the picture on Dan's laptop.
Julia Michaels is hot.
Yeah.
Poet?
Favorite poet?
Yeah.
Robert Burns.
No.
Oh, who?
I didn't even think about turning this into a game. Anastasia Renee. She's a Seattle-based poet. She was the Seattle's poet laureate. She's
And you know
taught
that bitch.
Classes. Yeah. I've taken a class from her. She was the one who one of her writing prompts prompted me to start writing about sex stuff. She said she had write a poem with less than 10 words about sex. Did she say sex or did I just do it about sex? I don't remember.
Is that when you were writing Gays Don't Poop?
Yes, and that's where Gays Don't Poop came from.
Great. Kyle's published some works of his writing in Gays Don't Poop. Go get it.
That's the name of the chapbook. Yeah. Check it out. It's a collection of poetry about gay stuff. Favorite news site is them.us.
Okay.
Which is really news site, also very trans, non-binary, queer forward. So that's a very reliable. I follow them on Instagram, and they were just recently talking about how Demi Lovato's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
And in the comments, Demi Lovato I think is has been contacted by aliens and is doing a special or something about the aliens and their relationship with aliens or something like that. And everyone in the comments is shitting on Demi Lovato while respecting their pronouns.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Book I started that I pretend I'll get back to eventually is favorite one is Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris.
Okay. Yeah.
Seems very good.
Yeah.
Definitely going to read it again.
He was the answer to Have a Nice Gay quiz just a couple of Wednesdays ago.
If only this came first. Hobby I took up and then gave up during the pandemic. Cross-stitching.
Cross-stitching, yeah.
My favorite web series is The Wondrous Life of Caleb Gayo.
Oh, it's good.
No, you didn't like it. We watched it, I thought, afterwards, and you were like, I don't get why you like this so much.
Oh. Both of those things can be true.
Okay. I didn't know you liked it. I thought you disliked it. Yeah. Favorite lube? Oh,
I don't know.
Well, yeah, Swiss Navy silicone.
Oh, okay. It might stain your sheets. See our laundry episode.
Yeah, just toss it in the like any kind of non-silicone based. I just feel like I have to keep going back to the well for more. It's like
I felt so judged about not having a protector. I bought one. It's downstairs
Oh, you
in the
did?
mail room. I haven't picked it up yet and unpacked it, but
we had a corrections and updates section, Mike, and you didn't even tell me about your mattress protector. You'll have to let me know how it goes and if I should do that.
okay. Yeah. I will.
I need to get a new mattress, but I don't have. Okay. My favorite mattress. That was the next thing on the list. Yours, winky face.
Okay. Not me. Not mine. Not me.
Wait. Okay. I want you to read the next one. My favorite podcast joke.
Podcast joke: when Mike acts like you refers to him instead of the audience.
Favorite technology. Best technology is the cassette tape that goes into your car and then connected to your iPod and let you play your iPod via cassette tape.
Do you have any of those pieces?
No, I used to.
Oh, okay. You don't even have a car right now.
Nothing has surpassed that. Technology, do better. Do good things like that cassette tape thing, and then you can earn this spot on Kyle's list of best things.
Yep.
Favorite debilitating mental illness? Bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
It's a new one that I'm figured out that I have some level of, and it keeps things like every now and then I'll be like, I feel very good,
Yeah.
and and I can't sleep now, which is going to throw off my entire day. It keeps things spicy for me.
Yeah.
Favorite race?
Oh.
Boston Marathon.
Okay, great.
But only when black people run. My mom, in her 60s, just qualified for the Boston Marathon.
Wow, that's
she will
hardcore.
Yeah, I'm very proud of her. And my favorite podcast is this one because I get to share things I like with friends that I know are people that are open to kind of hearing things and being okay. Just kidding. My favorite podcast is Gay Future.
I knew that was coming. Oh man, Gay Future is very funny.
It is very good. I played the first episode for my dad. It was like, if you say you can listen to my podcast, you can listen to this podcast that I really like. He didn't like it, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Kyle, what's your favorite extremely dangerous sex act?
Anal.
It's choking, Kyle. It's choking, and I'm going to be talking all about it in the Patreon segment.
Yeah.
Hot tips for
That is one thing that I talk about and say I like an equal amount to my like of it. That is not overstated. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
rejected segments included backwards hats, arms. What else didn't we talk about? That
Eiffel Tower.
choking, but we're going to talk about choking during Patreon.
Now I can only think of sexual spit
Guest
roasting.
appearances at Three Ways. You enjoy that a great deal. That's you talk about that pretty often.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
Why wouldn't you want a dick in your mouth while you're getting fucked? It's like there's an opening here. That, why?
There's multiple openings, Kyle.
There.
I did that for the first time in Denver this
Really?
summer. Yeah.
How was it?
I haven't had a chance to repeat it, but I damn well would. Right?
We didn't talk very much about TV. I love TV. I watch
Bob's
so
Burgers
much
was on the
TV.
list of things I was going to talk about. Frasier was on the list.
That's another one that has, since the pandemic, made its way into my regular rotation of just turn on. Pen 15, I really liked, and I'm rewatching so I can watch season 2 and remember it. But it was I forgot how intense it was. It was a lot. But that one is very funny. Favorite gay TV show is Looking.
Oh, okay.
That's really good on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we do it?
Yeah.
That's all the things you like?
And I will never talk any more about anything I like because we've covered it all.
Oh, that's a lie, but okay.
Oh, lying. We didn't talk about lying.
Oh, yeah.
I love lying.
Okay, should we take a break?
Yeah.
Oh, you like breaks too.
I like breaks because I get to pee,
And take a nap.
take a nap. Let's take a choke break.
All right, let's take a break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
So are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
You're recording video, which has some. Now I didn't. Yeah, I love being on video.
Yeah, we're gonna do our Gayest, Straightest.
But first,
our website is gayishpodcast.com.
our social media. We are at Gayish Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and I don't know, other stuff.
We have a Discord server.
Yeah.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails. It's 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rate supply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109. And I got some stuff.
You got some stuff. Ooh.
Yep. Here we go.
You got a few things.
This is addressed to Daddy Mike Johnson, care of Gayish Podcast. I think Dan put out like a bat signal that people should send me birthday cards. So here we go. There's a honk flexing. There once was a laddie named Shawnee, who, as you can see, is quite brawny. He'll pump up his guns and his really ripped buns, and just wait till you see his salami. Hope it is a lovely and wonderful day for you, Armando. Thanks, Armando.
He's holding, he's holding salami.
Right, yeah.
He has a salami.
Right.
I'm hungry.
This is another, I think, birthday card. Do you like my nails, darling? Maybe I can do your nails. You're never too old for that hoary look. Happy birthday, Javi and Cian. Hey, Mike, happy birthday. This card is from my Etsy store designed by Javi.
Oh, cool.
Huh, very nice.
You know what movie those are from?
No.
Showgirls.
Oh.
We've watched that.
We have watched that. For some
why
reason.
he picked it.
And last but not least, this Amazon envelope. I'm kind of awesome. An inner truth journal. Yeah.
That's cool. And
some brave person underwear. I believe this is from Joe in Dallas, maybe?
Did he not? He usually puts the thing.
when we get underwear in the mail, we tend to default to Joe and Dallas.
Well, I will follow up with him and find out. Thank you, whoever this is. I will follow up. But I appreciate it, and
happy birthday!
Thank you.
Your birthday. It's the birthday that keeps giving.
It just keeps on going, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you want to keep sending Mike stuff, go ahead. His birthday lasts all year.
Yeah, if you really want to get me something for my birthday, do one of the 4 R's, you motherfuckers.
Read for your own general knowledge, everybody.
Rate, review, subscribe, or recommend. It very much definitely does help. We were number 1 in Costa Rica last week. That was pretty great. And then in Botswana, which I'm less excited about, but
mean to Botswanans.
Sorry, Botswana, about that. Jeez.
Back down to 150 for Botswana
yeah,
after
I guess
that.
So. Sorry. Yeah, quick programming note. We are going to be having your For Attention event coming up.
Oh, yeah. That's on December 2nd, Thursday, December 2nd. It starts at 6 p.m. Pacific. We will have the first hour is a panel that will include judge for RuPaul's Drag Race Thailand, Pangina Heels, as well as others, and then we'll screen my documentary and then have a little Q&A after to talk about it. So, yeah, please check it out. I'd love to have everyone's support, and it should learn something.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Again, coming up on December 2nd at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's Thursday, December 2nd. And it'll be on Facebook Live, so check our socials for all the information. Ready for our Gayest, Straightest?
Yeah, I'll go
first, Kyle. Do you like going first? Is that a thing you like?
I don't think I really care.
Okay.
What I don't like is long discussions about who's going to go next, which is why I think,
All right, great. Well, shut up and go then.
Well, let's talk about it. Gayest is I bought Reynolds a light, so because it's dark out and he's black and walking around, I don't want him to get hit by a car, and it has different color settings. And at first I set the color to white, just boring old white, and then I was like, you know what? I'm like so dislike having any attention. Like this episode is ironic because I don't. So and then eventually I was like, you know what? There's so little joy in the world, so I turned it on the multicolor one, so it changes to various colors.
It's like a little dance party.
Like a little dance party for Reynolds' neck. The straightest thing is I have not been out to a gay bar since Halloween.
Oh, wow.
It's been a couple weeks. I hung out with my straight friend Augustia last night, and I went to his house in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
like, you know, like out where houses are, and people have like children, and you know, have like neighborhood group chats or whatever.
Right,
But,
yeah.
like, so I haven't been attending a gay in a while.
Oh, well. There's always next time. Like
There's always next time.
we should hang out at a gay bar soon.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the straightest thing about me this week, last night, I was at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving, because she's going to Vegas to see my middle brother and family for the actual holiday. And there was a knock on the door from her neighbor. I think his name is Eldon. Anyway, he fucked up all of our names, so I don't feel bad about that. But he was just making casual conversation. He asked me, because I said I was from Seattle, he asked me if I was going to like start working for the Seahawks and turn them around. And my mom goes like, no, he doesn't give any fucks about that. And then I said, but is Russell Wilson's hand still broken? That was like, knowing that off the top of my head was like great. And apparently it's not. He played the last game.
I just asked friends that care. Just saw they lost. Seahawks lost.
Oh, boo. I don't care. And then the gayest thing about me this week, also last night, hanging out with my mom and my brother and his fiance, we were playing YouTube videos, and I played one of Jeremy Jordan singing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" and "Home" from The Wiz, and it's a fucking smash. He's absolutely incredible. But then as it started playing, I thought, I wonder if my brother wonders if I'm only into him because he's hot. Because when he starts playing, he's singing, and the singing is good.
Yeah.
But like you have to get into the song. Like he starts fucking milting shit about 3/4 of the way through the song. So at the beginning of the song, when he's like okay, but not being blown away by it, but he's very hot. I was like, oh, Murph probably thinks that I'm just into him because he's hot.
I would probably think that about you too.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's fair. And these things aren't mutually exclusive either. This week we have a listener's Gayest and Straightest from Will from Discord. Straightest, got a paper cut, couldn't find a Band-Aid, so I threw duct tape on it. Gayest, after putting up the Christmas tree, felt weirdly inspired, proceeded to paint the hallway and stairwell to match the green of the tree.
Wow, that's dedication.
And gay.
And gay. Wow, the colors needed to match the tree.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Well, a special thank you to you, Kyle, for liking things and then letting us talk about them.
I guess I do like some things. And thank you to Steve Douglas for making this request as the counterpoint. Kyle also likes things.
There's balance to the universe now.
Yeah.
Good.
What's that? Let's like Tai Chi or something.
Feng Shui.
Chai tea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. And thank you to the following: Super Gap Bridgers, Josh Copeland, Forrest Nail, Patrick Martin, Anonymous, James Barrow, Explosive Lasagna, Christopher Farrell, Jamie Pugh, Kevin Henderson, Tipsy McStumbles, Donald Linsky, Thomas B., Dusty Sands, A.E. Coleman, Chris Cacciatorian, Jerome York, and Cian and Javi.
That is it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cacciatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. Goodbye.
Bye.
I love Nutella. I love Nutella.